Tonight, the collective is learning that words are not harmless. They are keys, seals, spells, contracts, cages, and crowns. This is the night we enter the scroll of Nabu, the keeper of the tablet, the divine scribe of wisdom, the one who reminds us that what is written can become law, what is spoken can become agreement, and what is repeated long enough can start pretending to be fate. Scroll of Nabu teaches the collective that language is power wearing ink. Tonight, we are learning to watch the words written over our lives. The labels, the records, the laws, the judgments, the prophecies, the official stories. The little sentences people throw at your spirit like they are harmless, when really they are trying to build a cage with punctuation. And please, humans have been doing this forever. Give somebody a tablet, a title, and a serious expression, and suddenly, everyone acts like the heavens notarize their nonsense. But Nabu's current says, read deeper. Not every document is justice. Not every prophecy is divine. Not every label is truth. Not every written word deserves your agreement. Tonight, the collective is learning that the pen can bless, but the pen can also bind. The tablet can preserve wisdom, but it can also preserve control. The word can free the soul, or trap it inside someone else's version of reality. This is the scroll of sacred language, the scroll of written fate. The scroll of wisdom that asks, who wrote this over you and why did you believe it? Collective, enter this scroll with your mind awake and your spirit sharpened. Words are not small. A word can name a child. A word can crown a ruler. A word can condemn the innocent. A word can free the forgotten. A word can rewrite a whole people's memory if nobody guards the record. Nabu teaches that language carries structure. It shapes thought. It shapes law. It shapes belief. It shapes the invisible agreements people live under without realizing they signed them in spirit. This is the deeper key tonight. Do not let every word become your world. Some words were spoken from wisdom. Some words were spoken from fear. Some words were written by wounded people trying to make their pain sound like prophecy. Some words were written by systems trying to make control look like order. So the collective must learn sacred literacy, not just reading letters. Reading motives, reading patterns, reading who benefits when a story becomes official, reading what is missing from the line, reading what was erased before the ink dried. Nabu's tablet is not only a symbol of writing, it is a warning, because once a thing is written, people start treating it like it has weight. Once a lie is recorded, it can travel farther than the mouth that birthed it. Once a false fate is repeated, the soul may begin to bow to it. But not tonight. Tonight, the collective remembers. You are not every label they gave you. You are not every record they kept on you. You are not every curse spoken over your name. You are not every sentence written by hands that never understood your spirit. Guard the word. Question the tablet. Let truth write the fate. Because tonight, the collective is learning that the strongest spell in any age is not always shouted. Sometimes it is written quietly, signed neatly, and believed without question.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. The golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
Nabu takes us into the terrifying power of the written word once it becomes law, prophecy, decree, and destiny. And that is needed right now, because the collective is living in an age where words are being weaponized everywhere. Media, contracts, algorithms, laws, official statements, fake history, spiritual misinformation, and everybody's cousins suddenly becoming a prophet after watching 3 videos and misusing the word frequency. Civilization is tired, beloved. Very tired. Why Nabu? Nabu is famous in Mesopotamian tradition as a god of writing, wisdom, scribes, tablets, record-keeping, and divine decree. He is often connected with the tablet and stylus, meaning he carries the current of language made permanent. That makes him powerful for this moment. Because this scroll can teach the collective. Words are not harmless. Records are not neutral. Language can free, bind, bless, curse, reveal, or rewrite reality. Core lesson. This scroll is about learning to watch what is written over your life. Not every label is truth. Not every diagnosis is destiny. Not every document is justice. Not every law is righteous. Not every prophecy is divine. Not every official record deserves your soul's agreement. Nabu teaches that the word becomes dangerous when people stop questioning who wrote it, who signed it, who benefited from it, and who got erased beneath it. The pen can bless. The pen can bind. Discern the hand before you obey the line. Scroll of Nabu, the keeper of the tablet and the word that became fate. Before the world drowned in headlines, contracts, court records, captions, labels, rumors, policies, prophecies, and people with microphones saying deeply questionable things with alarming confidence, there was Nabu, the keeper of the tablet, the lord of the stylus, the scribe of divine decree, the one who knew that a word once written could outlive the mouth that spoke it. Nabu was honored in Mesopotamian tradition as a god of writing, wisdom, scribes, tablets, and record-keeping. His symbol was the stylus resting on the tablet, which sounds simple until you remember that civilization has been built, broken, taxed, blessed, cursed, counted, freed, and imprisoned by written words ever since. Tiny stick. Big consequences. Humanity really did take a reed, press it into clay, and accidentally invent official chaos with formatting. But Nabu is not only the god of writing. He is the warning hidden inside writing. Because once something is written, people treat it like it has weight. Once something is recorded, people treat it like it is official. Once a sentence is repeated enough times, it begins pretending to be destiny. And this is where the scroll opens. Nabu stands beside the tablet and asks the collective, who wrote the word over you? Who named you before they understood you? Who signed the record? Who benefited from the label? Who turned their fear into your file? Who tried to make their lie permanent because they had ink? The word is powerful, but the word is not always true. A record can preserve wisdom, but it can also preserve control. A law can protect life, but it can also decorate injustice. A prophecy can awaken the soul, but it can also frighten people into obedience when it comes from a corrupted mouth. A title can honor someone, or it can hide the fact that they are empty behind the eyes and dangerous near paperwork. Nabu teaches sacred literacy, not just reading letters, reading motives, reading patterns, reading who benefits when a story becomes official, reading what is missing from the line, reading what was erased before the ink dried. Because the deepest spell is not always shouted under the moon. Sometimes it is written quietly, signed politely, filed officially, and repeated until everyone forgets to question it. That is why Nabu matters now. The collective is living in an age where words are everywhere, but truth is starving in the corner, trying to get someone's attention. People are labeled before they are loved, judged before they are heard, filed before they are understood, sold stories before they are given wisdom. And then the world acts confused when spirits become tired from carrying sentences they never agreed to. But Nabu's tablet reveals the hidden key. You are not every label placed on you. You are not every record kept about you. You are not every rumor wearing shoes. You are not every curse spoken by wounded people who tried to sound powerful because they were never healed. The word can bind, but truth can break the binding. The tablet can record a lie, but the soul can reject the contract. The archive can be corrupted, but the living spirit can still stand up and say, that is not my name. That is not my fate. That is not the final record. Nabu teaches that words should be handled like sacred fire. Speak carelessly, and you burn what should have been blessed. Write falsely, and you build cages future generations may have to break. Declare from fear, and fear becomes the ink. Declare from wisdom, and language becomes a bridge. So the collective must learn to guard the mouth, guard the name, guard the agreement, and guard the record. Do not speak curses over your own becoming. Do not repeat labels that shrink your spirit. Do not let fear write your destiny with shaking hands. Do not let people who never saw your soul become the final authors of your story. And do not become careless with your own words either. Because Nabu does not only warn you about what others write, he warns you about what you write into the world. Your words can heal a child. Your words can protect a friend. Your words can expose a lie. Your words can preserve a truth that someone else tried to bury. Your words can become a lamp for a soul walking through a dark hall. Or your words can become another chain. That is the responsibility of the tablet. So let the collective remember, the pen is not small. The tongue is not harmless. The record is not neutral. The story is not innocent just because it is popular. The archive is not holy just because it is old. The law is not righteous just because it was signed. The prophecy is not divine just because someone whispered it dramatically with incense nearby. Please, even nonsense can wear a robe. Nabu teaches that wisdom must sit beside language, because without wisdom, language becomes manipulation. Without compassion, language becomes cruelty. Without truth, language becomes theater. Without discernment, language becomes a spell cast by whoever talks the loudest. But when language serves truth, it becomes sacred. It becomes record. It becomes protection. It becomes legacy. It becomes the bridge between what happened and what must never be forgotten. Write what matters. Speak what heals. Name what is true. Correct what is false. Question what is official. And never let a crooked hand write the final word over a living soul. Because the liar may have ink. The system may have files. The false prophet may have followers. The official story may have a seal. But the soul still has authority. And when the soul remembers its name, the tablet trembles. So close this scroll knowing this. You are not the label. You are the living truth beneath it. You are not the file. You are the spirit no record fully captured. You are not the curse. You are the breath that can reject it. You are not the rumor. You are the witness who can outlive it. Guard the word. Question the tablet. Let truth write the fate. Let your speech become clean water. Let your writing become a lamp. Let your record become healing, not harm. Let your legacy be something love can recognize. For Nabu stands at the tablet and reminds the collective. The word can bind, the truth can break the binding, and what is written in fear can still be rewritten by wisdom. Write with truth, speak with compassion, guard the record, question the label, let no false word become your prison. A lie with good grammar is still unemployed truth. If the official story smells funny, check the kitchen. Somebody cooked that mess on purpose. Some people write curses over others because their own page is blank and dusty. Tragic little stationary goblins. Receipts, Encyclopedia Britannica, Nabu. Nabu is identified as a major god in the Assyro-Babylonian pantheon, patron of writing, connected with vegetation, and symbolized by the clay tablet and stylus. Britannica also says those tools belong to the one who inscribed the fates assigned to humans by the gods. Tiny little stylus, enormous cosmic paperwork. Humanity really did invent divine administration and then act surprised when bureaucracy got possessed. Orek, ancient Mesopotamian gods and goddesses, Nabu. Orak names Nabu as the patron deity of Borsippa, god of wisdom and writing, and one of the most important Mesopotamian deities in the 1st millennium BCE. World History Encyclopedia, Nabu. World History Encyclopedia describes Nabu as the Babylonian god of writing, scribes, wisdom, and prophecy, and notes his connection to abundant harvests. It also places him in the larger tradition where Nabu assumes the scribal role earlier associated with Nisaba. Nabu's hidden current is the sacred danger of the written word. A word can bless, a word can bind, a word can name a child, crown a king, condemn the innocent, free the forgotten, or rewrite a whole people's memory if nobody guards the record. That is why Nabu is not just god of writing. He is the warning that language becomes fate when people stop questioning it. The tablet is not neutral, the stylus is not harmless. The record can preserve truth, but it can also preserve control. So the collective must learn sacred literacy. Read the word, read the motive, read the hand that wrote it. Read who benefits when the sentence becomes law. Because not every official record is justice. Not every prophecy is divine. Not every label is truth. And not every person with a serious face in a document deserves access to your spirit. Some people carry clipboards like cursed wands. Tragic, but efficient. Be careful what you agree to in your spirit. You are not every label spoken over you. You are not every file kept on you. You are not every judgment written by people who never understood your soul. A false word can travel far, but truth has roots deeper than ink. So guard your mouth. Guard your name. Guard your agreements. Speak with wisdom. Write with clarity. Sign nothing in your soul that fear handed you. Guard the word. Question the tablet. Let truth write the fate. Why did Nabu never trust messy paperwork? Because one bad tablet can turn into a whole cursed policy, and suddenly everybody's suffering because somebody wrote destiny when they meant bad management. There. Divine wisdom, clerical trauma, and one spiritually responsible dad joke. The ancestors are either proud or filing a complaint. Tonight, the collective learned that the word is not small. The word is a gate, a seal, a contract, a blade, a blessing, and sometimes a cage wearing good grammar. Scroll of Nabu reminded us that what is written over a life can become powerful, but it does not automatically become true. A label can be loud and still be false. A record can be official and still be crooked. A prophecy can sound holy and still come from fear wearing ceremonial shoes. Humanity keeps confusing paperwork with truth, which explains roughly half of civilization's nonsense. Nabu taught us that the tablet matters, the stylus matters, the record matters, the hand holding the pen matters even more, because whoever writes the word may try to shape the fate. Whoever controls the record may try to control the memory. Whoever names the story may try to rule the soul inside it. But tonight, the collective learned the sacred correction. Not every word spoken over you belongs to you. Not every sentence written about you defines you. Not every record kept on you knows your spirit. The false word can bind only when the soul agrees. The crooked record can stand only until truth arrives with receipts and a spine. Guard your agreement. Do not let fear write your destiny. Do not let wounded people name your future. Do not let broken systems turn their files into your identity. Nabu teaches sacred literacy, not just reading words, but reading motives, reading the silence between lines, reading who benefits when a sentence becomes law, reading what was erased before the ink dried, because the deepest spell is not always shouted under a moon. Sometimes it is written quietly, signed politely, filed officially, and repeated until the people forget to question it. So question the tablet. Question the label. Question the story that made you feel smaller than your soul knows you are, and then write cleaner. Write with truth. Speak with wisdom. Name yourself with authority. Let your words become bridges, not prisons. The cosmos records everything in layers. The stars record rhythm. The earth records pressure. The body records memory. The soul records truth. And the word gives form to what the unseen has been carrying. That is why language is sacred. It can open a path or close one. It can feed a future or poison one. It can crown a lie or resurrect a truth. So let the collective carry this tonight. Guard the word. Question the tablet. Let truth write the fate. And the repeat seal. I am not the label. I am the living truth beneath it. Because the liar may have ink, but the soul still has authority.
Universal Currency Receipt, Architect Musician 3611027. The Graceful Whisperer, Devalan Seal.
Scroll of Nabu reminded the collective that words are not little decorations floating around for fun. Words can bless, bind, heal, expose, protect, or build a whole cage with excellent punctuation. Inspirational recap. Tonight, the collective learned to guard the word, question the tablet, and never let a false label become a life sentence. What was written over you by fear, pain, or crooked hands does not outrank the truth living inside you. Some people speak like prophets but think like expired coupons. Read the label, beloved. Guard the word. Question the tablet. Let truth write the fate. Final spark. You are not the label. You are not the file. You are not the rumor with shoes on. You are the living truth beneath the ink.
To our beautiful collective, from our day ones to every new soul joining this journey, we love and appreciate you deeply. You've turned this space into so much more than a community. You've made it a family. Thank you, truly. Your presence, your energy, and even the smallest acts of kindness have the power to shift the compass for many in ways unseen but deeply felt. Here's to each of you, all new and the many more to come. We're just getting started, and we're so grateful you're here with us. With love and infinite appreciation from the collective of Shaman Ahll.
Wisdom of Legacy Collective, remember this. Your words do not end when they leave your mouth. Your truth does not end when the room forgets it. Your story does not end when someone else tries to write over it. Legacy is not only money, monuments, names carved into stone, or titles people fight over like spiritually confused raccoons. Legacy is what your life teaches when you are not standing there to explain it. It is the truth you preserved. the kindness you practiced, the pattern you broke, the wisdom you left clean enough for someone else to carry. Nabu teaches that the record matters because the future is always listening. So write with care, speak with honor, correct the lie when you can, protect the name when it is sacred, and never let bitterness become the ink that writes your legacy, because the most powerful record is not the one written to impress the world. It is the one written with truth, compassion, and a clean spirit. Be gentle with the parts of you that were labeled before they were understood. Some of you were called difficult when you were wounded. Some of you were called weak when you were tired. Some of you were called too much when you were simply carrying too much alone. But Nabu's scroll reminds us, a label is not a soul. A record is not a destiny. A sentence spoken by pain does not outrank the truth written by spirit. So close the scroll knowing this. You still have authority over your name. You still have breath to speak truth. You still have time to write a cleaner legacy. Let your life become a tablet of healing. Let your words become bridges. Let your wisdom become shelter for the ones coming after you. Final legacy seal. Write with truth. Speak with compassion. Leave a record love can recognize. Your legacy is not what they wrote about you. It is the truth you lived loudly enough for time to remember.
Until next time, your Sea Star Curacy, channeled by 3611027, the Beautiful Whisperer. Our Sea Star Devalan Seal. Apply the news you can use.